It's only fitting that last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year set the literal example for this year's favorite. New York Giants fans can only hope Abdul Carter was paying close attention to the Cowboys-Rams joint practice on Tuesday, because the message from Jared Verse was loud, clear, and absolutely ruthless. The Dallas Cowboys couldn't block Verse to save their lives. At all. And it wasn't just a couple of splash plays here and there. It felt like he had a permanent address in the backfield. It was a complete nightmare scenario for Dallas, absolute dream for Giants fans, and exactly the kind of havoc Carter should be aiming to replicate when these two teams actually meet. The fact that Dallas is still scrambling to figure out its offensive line only adds to the opportunity here. If Verse showed how to blow it all up, Carter and really the entire Big Blue pass rush should be walking into September with the blueprint already in hand. Jared Verse just laid the groundwork for Abdul Carter against the Cowboys. Verse showed up on tape and then backed it up by tearing through the Cowboys like a one-man wrecking crew. He bullied backup tackles like Nate Thomas, shot through gaps to blow up run plays, and made it crystal clear why he took home DRY last season. Every snap was another reminder that Dallas isn't exactly ready for speed and violence off the edge. Verse got started playing off the edge, standing up, something Giants defensive coordinator Shane Bowen will do with Carter. In a somewhat effortless speed-to-ghost move, the 24-year-old blew by Thomas to get to Dak Prescott in around 2 seconds. Not a great rep here for the #Cowboys offense. Jared Verse with a sack, Nick Hampton with the interception. Verse's talents didn't stop at the pass rush. He also impressed in the run game, consistently blowing up plays in the backfield. No play was more impressive than the rep below, where the reigning DRY utilized his burst to blow by a Thomas miscommunication inside to catch Javonte Williams in the backfield, tackling him for an easy loss. Nowhere to go here for Javonte Williams. Jared Verse is a beast. It was only a scrimmage, but Verse's early signs of dominance make it really easy to believe Carter will have the same success against this suspect offensive line and anemic ground game. Their line has some raw talent, but it's unsettled, it's inexperienced, and it just got lit up in a controlled environment. It's still August, but the film doesn't lie. Verse just exposed some serious weaknesses. Carter's got the skill set to do the exact same thing, with maybe even more juice off the edge. The G-men get Dallas in week 2, and thanks to Verse, Carter already has the annihilate the Cowboys' offensive line blueprint in front of him. Now it's up to the rookie to take advantage. The Dallas Cowboys suffered some unusually bad offensive line injury luck over the past couple of weeks when starters Robert Jones, Tyler Guyton, and Tyler Smith all went down with injuries. Tyler Smith is back at practice, and head coach Brian Schottenheimer has set fans' collective minds at ease after he missed a practice due to maintenance. But they are still down multiple offensive linemen, both of whom are scheduled to miss at least a month. Even after re-signing tackle Lyle Collins to a 1-year deal last week, the team could do with more reinforcements on the interior, so in this trade proposal Dallas takes 2 players off division rivals, the New York Giants plate, both of whom could be cut by the team next month irregardless. Guard Evan Neal and running back Devin Singletary. The Cowboys could use injury reinforcements at guard. Both TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman are serviceable backups for the time being, but that leaves the team short one season backup on the interior, especially as Tyler Smith's situation will still be being monitored, even after his return to practice. Evan Neal provides some high upside play for what will likely be a rock-bottom price. After the former 7th overall pick lost his job at right tackle, a move to guard has looked to be the former Alabama man's best way forward. However, he will have to compete with incumbent starter Greg Van Roten and former Bucs IOL Aaron Stinney for the number 1 job. Now, in the final year of his rookie contract, the time is now, and if he cannot prove himself in camp, it would make sense to move him. This is also the feeling of Brent Sobleski of Bleacher Report, who believes that his performances in training camp on the inside will reveal whether he can ultimately become a starting caliber guard in the league or become trade/cut fodder as a backup. Neal has struggled through his first 3 seasons. Sobleski wrote, "The Giants are still trying to figure out if they can save his career, depending on how the transition from tackle to guard goes. Neal will find a new home, either at guard or with another team." Running back remains one of the weakest areas of the roster. Although Dallas rookie fifth-round pick, Jaden Blue, has stood out at training camp after some rumors came out concerning his work ethic, a claim that was nullified by the team's RB coach, Derek Foster. Between him, Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, the room could still be one of the most efficient in the NFL. In fact, Pro Football Focus ranked the Cowboys as the league's worst running back group back in early July. Cebulski mentions that Giants running back, Devin Singletary, could also be a cut candidate for New York. With Tracy entering his second season as Big Blue's lead back, Singletary's value drops dramatically, especially if fourth-round rookie Cam Skattebo proves he's more than capable of handling his responsibilities in the backfield. The organization may decide to go in a different direction because the roster features a pair of talented younger ball carriers. Singletary could even come in as RB1 for the Cowboys, and once again would not be a huge trade burden. The Dallas Cowboys have a contract problem. The Buffalo Bills have a contract problem. What if the two NFL franchises simply switch problems? Would the Dallas Cowboys trade Micah Parsons to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for James Cook? After months of contract drama, Parsons has put his foot down and officially demanded a trade. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has tried to downplay the move, calling it a bargaining tactic, and maybe doing damage to the situation by making it sound like he's not taking Micah seriously. Meanwhile, Bills running back Cook this week altered his approach, shuffling into hold-in mode, with Buffalo GM Brandon Beane obviously reluctant to pay him the big bucks. Enter former New York Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum, who this week on ESPN made a prediction of sorts of a blockbuster trade. Tannenbaum suggested the Bills could send 3 first-round picks, running back Cook and defensive tackle Ed Oliver to Dallas. That would indeed be a blockbuster, said Tannenbaum. 3 number 1 picks, James Cook, and maybe Ed Oliver, he said. Does that get Buffalo to a Super Bowl? I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying those are things that would convince Dallas. As it stands, Micah is seeking the new market value $40 million plus APY on a contract extension as he enters the final year of his existing deal. And Cook? He's seeking what some think to be an outrageous $15 million APY, putting him up there with Philly's Saquon Barkley as his contract expires. It would take multiple first-round picks and 1 or 2 really good young players for Dallas to consider, and if I'm the Cowboys, to close the gap with Philadelphia and Washington, I would actually consider it, Tannenbaum said. Among the biggest obstacles? Money. The Bills have the lowest available salary cap in the league. Adding Parsons would take some cap space trickery, and maybe some other roster members lost. And Dallas? The Cowboys would surely love Cook, but have no intention of paying a running back Barkley-level money. Parsons has piled up 52.5 sacks in 4 seasons, averaging 14.2 per 17 games. He's elite. Cook last year scored a fantastic 18 touchdowns. He's pretty special, too. Could Buffalo add Parsons while replacing Cook on the field? Sure. Could one argue that Dallas would be better as an overall franchise with 3 first-round picks? Moving off the generational talent Micah would be painful, but those picks may be more compelling than the acquisition of Cook and Oliver, so sure. Is this, in the end, such a fantasy that the NFL audience response to ex-Jets GM Tannenbaum is, "That's why you're an ex-GM?" Sure.